Hey everybody, welcome to our Wednesday, Thursday video for week 1 of April curriculum. I'm excited to teach you guys some fun stuff today, but before we get going, you got to get yourself warmed up. So start off with 25 jumping jacks, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 pivot, front up, swinging up that leg nice and straight to get that stretch in your leg, and then finish with 30 seconds of mountain climbers or holding and plank, something fun like that. So get yourself warmed up and then we'll get going. Ready, set, go. All right, guys, so first thing we're gonna learn today is I'm just gonna introduce you guys to our 5 strikes kata. This is part of our SWMA discipline in the Chitudo art. And eskrima involves using sticks and swords, knives, other bladed objects. And our 5 strikes kata is just an introduction to some of the basic strikes. And it's really fun to do at the end of the month on test day. Each kid will get up in front of the class and perform their 5 strikes kata. There's only 5 strikes in it, so it's pretty easy to learn. And all of the strikes are done with one hand, with the same hand. All right, so the way I'm going to show it to you guys today, I'm just going to show it with an open hand, as if my hand were a blade, okay? And when I'm doing the strikes, you'll want to imagine that the pinky side of my hand is the blade side of the object that we would be swinging, all right? And as I show you guys how to do it, pretend I am in the mirror. So I'm going to be doing it all with my right hand, but you guys should be doing it with your left hand, all right? So that way, if I'm in the mirror and you're doing the same side I am, that means you're doing everything with your left. All right, so here we go. We start with our feet together and our hands at our side. Our left hand is the one that's going to be doing all of the moves, okay? So it starts with our left hand coming straight out in a thrust, and this is called thrust, and it comes straight out. If you were holding a bladed object, it would be going straight to the belly of an opponent. Now at the same time as your thrust, you want to take a step forward with the same side, okay? Also, one of my rules is always never strike with your other hand just hanging down by your side. So when you thrust and step, your other hand comes up to cover. All right, so the first move is a thrust. Okay, stepping forward with the same side. After our thrust, we're going to bring our hand back across our belly down by our hip. And if you want, you can kind of clap your hands together, and this hand is going to push it back, and we call this an under. So the pinky side of my hand turns and comes from down low and swings up and under and stops right in the center. Okay, so from back here by the hip, it swings up for an under strike. Okay, so from the top, the first strike is a thrust, and then we bring it back for under. Okay, one more time. We've got thrust, bring it back by your hip, and come up under. All right, next one, we're now going to bring it back up here by our ear, right where our other hand is anyways. And this one is called over. Okay, again, pinky side of my hand is the blade side that's coming down and striking. Okay, over comes from back here by your ear and swings down and stops right in the center. So this is called over. Okay, so from the top, we've got thrust, bring it back down here by your hip, and then come up for under, bring it back up here by your ear for over. Okay, next move is taking our back foot and taking a step forward, and we're going to bring our hand now back here by the same hip, same side. So now my body is open. I'm not crossing over my body anymore. This hand is still staying up to cover. Okay, so I'm going to reset back here. We're going to thrust, bring it back by the hip. We've got under, bring it up by the ear, over, and then your back foot is going to just take one step. Okay, my other foot didn't move at all. Now I've got my blade back here, and I'm going to do another under. So remember, that pinky side is the blade side. If I come this way, I'm not striking with the blade. So I need to keep my palm up with the blade side coming under. So this one comes from down low again and comes up to the center. That is our second under strike. So from the top, we've got thrust. Bring it back for under. Bring it back by the ear for over. And then we step and bring our hand down here by our hip. And now we're going to do our second under. Now we're going to do another over strike, only this time we're going to come back here, same ear, same side. So we're not crossing over anymore. And this is going to be another over. So that means my pinky side is coming over and down. So keeping my palm up. Okay, so from back here by the ear, swing that pinky side down and stop right in the center for our second over strike. Okay, so one more time, again from the top, we've got thrust. Bring it back by your hip for under. Bring it back by your ear for over. Step, bring your hand back by the same side, same hip, palm up, under. Bring it back by the same side, same ear, over. And guess what? That's our fifth strike. So from here, the way we finish is we keep our blade sticking out as we take that front foot and step right back to where we started. And then slide the front foot back and bring our hands to our side. And those are our 5 strikes. So we've got thrust, strike number 1, left side under, strike number 2, left side over, strike number 3, step, and then right side under. I'm sorry, I'm getting my sides mixed up. For you, you're doing it all with your left hand. So under, over, and then stepping back. So we'll go through it one more time. Remember, I'm in the mirror, so you are doing all of these with your left hand. Okay, so we've got thrust, bring it back for under, bring it back, over, step, under, over, step back, and return. I'm going to do it one time facing away from you using my left side so you can see how it should look, especially for whoever might be helping you and watching you. Okay, so we've got left side thrust, cross over to your right hip and give an under, cross over to your right ear, over, take your step. Now you've opened up so the left side is coming under, bring it back by the ear, over, step back, holding that hand out, and reset. So that is our introduction to the 5 strikes kata. The more time you can spend practicing that, making it look nice and clean and sharp, the better it's going to look on test day. So have some fun with that. Ready, set, go. Okay guys, so the next thing we're going to be learning today is a fun move called a clothes grab escape. And this is for when someone is grabbing you with 2 hands, usually grabbing you by your clothing. So I got Master Forleo here, who's going to help me demonstrate with you. The idea is there are 2 hands on your clothes, and so we're going to do what's called an up, down, up. You're going to take one hand and come up the side, go down the middle, and then you come up the other side. If we lean over a little bit, you'll see how I'm going all the way through to the other side. Then you bring both hands together, bring them in close, and step back as you turn violently to rip them off. Let's go trade places and we'll show it one more time. So up from the outside, down the middle, and up to the other side. I'm going to clap, pull my hands in nice and close, because if I leave him out here, then his arms can resist against me. But if I'm up here, I'm against his fingers, I'm going to step back as I turn and get his hands off of me. Thank you very much, sir. All right, so that up, down, up, let's practice that a little bit, okay? If you're in the mirror, if I'm in the mirror, use your right hand because it's usually your stronger hand that you want to use. So you're going to come up, go down between their hands, and come up the other side of their arm. It's a little snaky, okay? And then you're going to clap, pull. You have to get that pull in close. And then as you go to turn, you don't want to just use your body or just your hands, but you want to take a step back. Really violently get those hands off of you. If you end up with a little tear in your shirt or something in the self-defense situation, that's better than getting beat up or grabbed or taken away. All right. Now, when you do practice this with a partner, we don't want anybody's shirts to get torn. So here's what you do. If you are only wearing a t-shirt, the person who's practicing with you can just pinch your shirt like this. Okay. If you are wearing your jacket, they can grab onto your jacket nicely with two hands. Okay. But the purpose to practice successfully is bring those hands all the way in. If they bring their hands all the way in, they should be able to get a nice turn and rip. You quickly let go so that we don't end up with any ripped clothes, okay? But this is a great move to use if you don't want to hurt anybody, right? Maybe it's on the playground at school and they're just grabbing you by the shirt, either playfully or trying to intimidate you and get you to make you do something or make them give you something. You don't know, they're not actually hurting you, they're just holding on to your clothes. And so at that point, you just need to get their hands off of you. You don't necessarily need to hurt them. So this is a great way to get their hands off and say, back off, leave me alone, okay? If they are threatening to hurt you, right? If they're grabbing you and getting in your face, saying, I'm gonna beat you up, or I'm taking you, you're coming with me, and you feel scared, like for your life, and you feel like they are actually going to hurt you, they're getting ready to physically harm you, that's when it is okay to do a distraction first. You could do that pivot knee strike we just learned how to do, okay? Or stomp on their foot. If it's like a bigger person and they're saying they're going to kidnap you or take you away, you could eye gouge. They got both hands on your shirt, and if you can reach their eyes, go ahead and go for that eye spear or gouge with the thumb, okay? But today we're just practicing that simple escape. So up from the outside, down between their arms, up to the other side. Clap, pull, step back and turn, keeping your eyes on them. You don't want to turn and look away, because then they might come after you and hit you from behind, right? So as you pull, turn, keep your eyes forward, and then continue to back away in your ready stance with your hands up. Use your voice and say, no, back off. All right, so up, down between their arms, up, clap, pull, turn and look, and into your ready stance, using that voice, telling them to back off and leave you alone. All right, have some fun practicing that close, grab, escape. Next up, we're going to be working on a vertical elbow strike. Okay, so last video we learned the horizontal elbow strike, and the horizontal horizon helps me remember which way I'm moving my hand, right? I'm moving my hand nice on this flat line. Vertical means up and down, so instead of going this way on a flat line, now I'm going to be moving my hand up and bringing my elbow out right in front, okay? It uses the same burst that we did with the horizontal elbow, okay? Back leg stays back, push off your back leg and land in your ready stance, okay? And all we're doing is changing the direction of our elbow. So now instead of coming this way, I'm going to come up this way. I'm still going to burst and twist to really stick my elbow out there. Notice how I'm really pushing off that back leg, but I don't want to go like this, okay? Because then that gets me off balance and gets my feet in the wrong position. So it's hands up, bring your elbow out straight in front. So bring your hand back as if you were holding a phone to your ear, but maybe your ear is all bruised up and you don't want anything to really touch it, right? So the hand comes right here near your ear without actually touching, but that elbow is in close, straight forward, and you burst in and stick the elbow straight out because it's the pointiest part of your elbow that you're striking with on this one, okay? For a small person doing this elbow strike, you're aiming for in the belly, especially if you can get them right where the ribs and belly meet. If you push in right there, it makes you feel pretty icky. And that's your goal with using this kind of elbow strike. If maybe they were like bending over or something like that, and you could, if their face was down low, you could strike up under the chin with this. But in most cases, as a child, defending yourself, the person's going to be much taller. Your elbow really can't get any higher than your own head, and so you'll have better success aiming for the center mass with this one. All right, so one more time, bring that hand up right by your ear, burst in, and stick that elbow straight out. Remember, back leg stays back. You're just pushing off of it and really twisting, okay? It is not stepping. It is twisting to push that elbow straight out, okay? One more time, hands up, burst in and twist to push that elbow straight out, okay? So what I want you to do, I want you to practice that elbow strike. If you have a partner with a mitt, they can hold the mitt straight out for you. It doesn't need to be real high up, okay? Just about even with your own face, and you can practice bursting in and hitting that mitt straight on with the pointiest part of your elbow. Hand back here by your ear above your shoulder. All right, and that is the vertical elbow strike. Ready, set, go. All right, and with the month of April, our word is perseverance, and every video is going to end with 1 minute of perseverance. That means doing something hard for 1 minute. Last video, you held a straddle stance for 1 minute. Today, I want you to do jumping jacks, continuous jumping jacks without stopping for 1 whole minute. So really, you don't have to get to a certain number. I just want you to keep going for that entire minute doing jumping jacks. Ask someone to set a timer for you. And when you get to 1 minute, then we'll talk about perseverance. All right, so hit that 1 minute perseverance drill. Ready, set, go. All right, so how do you feel after all those jumping jacks? Did you make it the whole minute? I really hope so. So today we're going to talk about the definition. Not quitting even when it's hard or you make a mistake. Was it hard to do jumping jacks for a whole minute? Maybe. For some people it is hard. Not for everybody, but that's okay. It's still good exercise. It's good for you to do, and it's good practice to keep your body moving for that long if you can. All right? So not quitting even when it's hard or you make a mistake. That means don't give up. Keep trying. Keep working at it. When you're learning a new concept at school, maybe it's you're learning how to read or you're learning how to do a new math concept. Anything that you're learning that's new, you're going to make mistakes. We always make mistakes when we're first learning how to do something. Very, very rarely do people get things perfect the first time they ever learn something. So practice perseverance when you're struggling at school. Practice perseverance when you're at home learning how to do a new chore. Practice perseverance when you're here at martial arts and learning a new move. Okay? Don't give up, even when it's hard, and especially when you make a mistake, because you can learn from those mistakes and learn how to do it correctly. All right? And then number 1 on the sheet, learning to set goals and achieve them. We did goals back in December, I think it was, or maybe it was January with focus. But just like we did back a couple months ago when we had learning to set goals and achieve them with the word focus, this month I also want you to write down a goal that you have for this month and bring it into me so that you can let me know something you're working on. It could be something, a goal for here in martial arts. It could be a goal for something at school. It could be a goal for something at home. It can be anything at all, something that you can work on over the next 3 weeks, and write it down. Bring it to me next week or email it to me, lrdunaway84@gmail.com, and let me know what your goal is that you're going to be working on this month, and at the end of the month, we'll see how you did. Okay, so have some fun thinking of something cool you can be working on, and look forward to hearing what you got. All right, have a great day.